Think back to your first job. Do you remember it? Of course you do. Everyone remembers their first job. Whether you were a dishwasher, construction worker, office worker, flipping burgers, everyone remembers their first job. I remember mine like it was yesterday. My mother worked for the phone company, and they had a summer program to allow high school kids to work there. I applied, and I was delighted that I got a position for the summer. So the first day, I drove to work with my mom because I didn't have a license yet. And as I walked into my office for the first day, I felt that sense of excitement. I felt that sense of trepidation. What am I doing here? And why is everyone so old? They're at least 30. That sense of, am I gonna make it? Can I prove myself here? Am I gonna be able to survive? Does this mean I'm an adult? All of those questions that came up, you remember them, right? I work with millennials. In fact, I work with millennials at work. And usually when I mention that, there's always a little bit of snickering or eye rolling. Well, that's a big job. Well, they need it. I find that that's not very helpful, because as excited as I was to have that glamorous job title of administrative assistant, which felt so great at the time, I know that we all have to start somewhere. We all walked into work and didn't know what we were doing. We all were anxious about starting our adult lives. And we all, at times, didn't know what we were doing. We've got several generations in the workforce right now. We have the baby boomers, born from 46 to 1964. These are folks that came of age right after World War II. They went through the Korean War. They went through the beginnings of the Vietnam War as they were coming of age, and they were with the civil rights movement. They were the civil rights movement. We have the Gen Xers. Any Generation Xers in the room? Yeah, a few of us here. So we were the ones who came right after that. Those were our parents for many of us. We came of age during the Iran-Contra hearings. We came of age during the first Gulf War. And then we have the millennials. Millennials came of age are still coming of age during the endless wars, during the whatever this political situation is that we're having right now. When you go back to the baby boomers, they're workers. They were here, they were coming of age during the time when our country was accelerating its industrial progress. Amazing, the time of the GI Bill. They are focused on getting stuff done. I want to be happy. I want to take care of myself and my family. Fantastic. Us Gen Xers, Breakfast Club, Reality Bites, not quite as hopeful. We're in the middle there. We tend to be disengaged. We tend to be less enthusiastic about what's happening. We kind of want to be left alone, but, we have to earn a paycheck, so we go out there. And then there's these millennials. So fresh-faced and excited and ready to change the world and all their new technologies and all this stuff that's happening, and everything's so fast. And those of us who are on these older sides are just exhausted listening to them talk about what happened. Oh my gosh, it's huge. I think part of the reason why the baby boomers and the Gen Xers are so fixated on the millennials is because we see ourselves. We wanted to change the world once. Remember that? We wanted to make things better, and we didn't know how. But we marched, and we fought, or we kept our heads down, and we worked. We did what we needed to do to try to make a difference in the world. We had new technologies. I still remember my parents telling me about the day their families got their first color TV. I remember that awful sound of the internet hooking up when you had AOL. Does AOL even exist anymore? When you have AOL and you're logging into the internet for the first time, and it was this glorious world of spam everywhere. Millennials have so much technology that just makes our quaint color TVs and fax machines look ridiculous. And they're going through it so fast. That's amazing. We also had language. Baby boomers created some of their own language. They had groovy. They had other words that they put together. I remember my mom trying once to try to fit in with us cool kids, and she said, that was really grody to the max. And I said, Mom, no. I was talking with a millennial the other day, and she said, you really need to be posy. And I'm thinking, I'm not sure what that means, but I think it's positive, so I'm going to say, yeah, that would be really woke. And she looked at me and said, no, don't say that. Okay, so there's a few things millennials can do to make their lives at work better. First one is network. I know you hear this from everyone, but network really has two main parts. One is getting to know someone, helping them. Getting to know someone and helping them. And the thing is, if we all get to know people and we all help them, that's great. That helps every single one of us. That's fabulous. So when you're building a network, it's not a matter of how can this person help me, but it's how can I connect with this person at a deeper level that will help me learn and grow. It's what can I offer this person that they might not have already that would be helpful to them. And we don't have to worry about keeping score, because that's not what's important. But the more you build your network, the more you'll be able to have people to call upon when things get difficult. The second thing you can do is get better at having difficult conversations. Tim Ferriss, the entrepreneur, said once, one's success in life is directly proportionate to the number of difficult conversations one is willing to have. And for once, I agreed with Tim Ferriss. Being able to have difficult conversations is so important, because the alternative is that things just go unsaid, and that means it's harder to build those relationships. It's harder to be real with your loved ones. It's harder to be real at work about what's bothering you. I've had situations where I go into an organization and I talk to the managers about what it is that they're looking for and what they want to change. And they say, well, I don't know, these are problems, but I really don't know how to fix them. And I think, that's interesting. So then I go over to the young people and say, so I heard this is a problem. What do you think needs to be done? And they will tell me over and over and over again all the things that need to happen. And I say, why haven't you told your manager this? Oh, that would be awkward. They don't really like feedback. They don't really want to hear from me. That's a difficult conversation to give your boss feedback. It's a difficult conversation to give your staff feedback. But those are incredibly important conversations to have and to learn to tolerate the discomfort. Finally, a good third thing for millennials to do is to think long term. My posy millennial friend told me, we don't think long term, us millennials. I mean, seriously, we get tattoos on our hands. But thinking long term, thinking in terms of this is a really long game we're playing. This isn't just I'm bored today and tomorrow. This isn't just I'm not happy with what I'm doing right now and I don't see an end. This is your life. This is long term. Someday, you too, if you're lucky, will get older and it will be fabulous. One of the things that's really important for baby boomers and Gen Xers and millennials to do in the workplace is to have empathy for each other. We don't need the eye rolling, which, by the way, was invented way before millennials did it. So we already had that going on. We don't need the eye rolling. And for the older folks on this end of the spectrum, instead of rolling your eyes at a millennial, help them. Share with them what it is that they need to know. There's so much that they are eager to learn. They want to contribute. They want to be part of things. They want to build a relationship with people. They want to be impactful. And that's fabulous. That's incredible. So build on that. Share with them what you know. And if they say things are posy, then thumbs up. That's even better. Now, millennials. I'm going to say this with love. There is no guarantee of fairness. At some point, you may have a boss who's a jerk. You may have someone who takes credit for your work. You may get credit for work you didn't even do. You may have people discriminate against you. You may have people do even worse. Your best friend may cheat on you. Terrible things can possibly happen in life. Hopefully not, but sometimes they can. But expecting fairness is a lovely way to view the world. But being willing to understand that when things aren't fair, it doesn't mean the world's against you. It means you're human. And you're trying to get along with humans the way the rest of us are. Another item for millennials is that you too, God willing, will get older. And someday, you'll be the one over 30 in the room. You'll be the one in their 40s or 50s. Someday, you too will have younger people coming along, nipping at your heels. And someday, you too will encounter technology that doesn't come second nature to you. Trust me, it happened to me. This can help you move your life forward in ways you won't even imagine. We all have value. We all bring something to the workplace, whether it's our wisdom, our experience, our ideas, our creativity, our willingness to get along with other people. Those are all things that we bring. We have that value. We also want to feel valued. Expressing empathy toward others, even if they're outside of our generation, expressing help, providing help to others outside of our generation, those are things that help keep the workplace going. And in case you doubt that these can be important things, I remind you, Generation Z is right around the corner. Thank you.